Welcome back. Today I'm going to play a bot on chess.com, but this is a very specific bot. Back when my channel was new, I was going upward through the lower rated bots into the, I guess, medium rated bots or intermediate bots, and I got stuck on the Vinh-Bot. I did beat Vinh a few times, but never more than Vinh beat me, and it's been a long time since I've played him. I guess I was a little bit afraid to try to play him again, but today I'm going to try to play him again. I feel like I've learned a lot since then. I'm pretty sure that I have learned a lot since then, so I hope to have a slightly better chance against Vinh in this video. But again, I'm going into this without knowing exactly what's going to happen, without knowing what Vinh will play. I'm going to do my best, and if I lose, I will analyze it afterward. If I win, I will probably try to analyze afterwards as well to figure out what I could have done better or what I missed. I'm going to let the computer choose the colors. Let's go. Okay, I got the white pieces. I think I was playing d4 back when I played Vinh before, so maybe I will do better. Vinh is going to play the French defense. I think that's good, right? But also this is good, I think. That's not what I expected. French defense, Queen's Knight variation. Is that coming after my knight? Wait, or is that, can I just take that? I have no idea. I've pulled this knight out against the French several times in games recently, Bullet and Blitz mostly, but the other person always plays here and I play my d-pawn, then they take here and I take with my knight 100% of the time. So I don't know what to do about that. I'm going to take it. And they have targeted the pawn that way, so I think I can bring it back, right? Or should I defend that pawn? Or should I push that pawn? I have no idea. I'm going to bring the knight back. Okay. Also unexpected here. Should I take? Should I check first and then take? No, if I check, they block with the g-pawn, and then my queen is stuck there. So I should take first, right? Or push. If I push, that leaves this bishop pointed here. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to push, which would keep the knight from developing to its normal square, and then hopefully I can play d4 afterward, and I will try to worry about that bishop later, because I have no idea what to do about that. I probably should have taken. We will find out later. Okay, I can threaten the queen by pushing the d-pawn, which I just said I would do. So I'm going to do that and see what the queen does. The queen went back one, but now I have both the bishop and the queen pointed at this pawn. So if the bishop takes first and I take back, then the queen takes and my rook is trapped. So should I get the knight out first? That seems reasonable. Let's get the knight out. That way, if the bishop takes, I can take with my queen. Yeah, definitely this is different than any of the games I remember playing against Vinh in the past, because I'm pretty sure I played d4 openings against Vinh in the past. And that's not the case here. Obviously, that, I guess, is to prevent my bishop from developing, but I wasn't going to develop my bishop due to this queen hitting here. Should I now push this pawn and develop the bishop this way? I don't think I should threaten the queen, right? Should I get this bishop out here and try to castle queen side? I do think that I'm a little ahead on development because Vinh has brought his queen out, but again, because of the bishop and queen pointed at my g-pawn, my light squared bishop is kind of stuck. I am afraid, afraid's not the right word, but I'm worried that if I push the g-pawn hoping to fianchetto, then Vinh can do something like this. But then I could still fianchetto and I would have two pieces defending my knight and I'd be ready to castle. So I'm going to try that. It's a little slower than getting the dark squared bishop out, but I think I need to do it. So I'm going to do it as long as he's got two pieces pointed there. He did do that. Okay, this works, right? Two pieces protecting my knight, but then does he launch a pawn? Is that what's going to happen here? I don't know. I'm going to try it and hope to castle. He did not launch a pawn. He instead has given me his, oh, if I take the bishop, take with the pawn, then I have to save my knight and end up losing my right to castle. But that, I think I should castle first and then take the bishop. I have no idea, but that's what I'm going to do. That might be really bad, especially with that advanced F pawn, but I'm going to try it. Well, now that bishop, this doesn't do anything. So now I'm pretty sure I'm going to take this bishop, and if that pawn moves, then I can just move my knight someplace. Actually, I could probably move it up here and then see if they want a queen trade. So yeah, let's take the light squared bishop. That's what I thought. Okay. And move this. But the question is where to move it. I could move it down here. And then their queen is, no, that would block the defense of my queen. I could move it here and then they take and I take. No. If I move it here, they're going to trade queens or move their queen. I'm pretty sure. Or should I push this pawn first and then move the knight? Let's do that. Now I have connect 4. Wait, I just lost my knight. Dang it. Okay, let's ask the queen to run away and then I'll get the bishop. Okay, the queen has run away and then I get the bishop. Wait, how am I ahead 2 points of material? Oh, I have 2 extra pawns. Okay. Let's see. One of those is defended by my queen. The other one is hanging. This one. Oh, but I can take that knight and double those pawns and create an isolated pawn island? Is that what I should try, or should I keep this bishop since I have lots of pawns on dark squares? That's a good question. I think I want to keep the bishop since I have lots of pawns on dark squares and then hopefully develop this bishop very quickly. Now, perhaps? Maybe I need another defender on that pawn, and then I can move my queen someplace. Okay, this bishop probably needs to retract. Probably. It's not hanging, but, right, they can line another piece up on it pretty quick. Okay, let's keep that there, and I was pinning that knight until they just now moved the rook. I'm not worried about this, because that's protected with another pawn. Let's see, does this help anything? No. Wait, maybe it does. Yeah, if they take back, I can take back with my bishop, maybe. Let's see, it depends on what they take with. They have 2 pieces that can take there. But if they take with the pawn and I take with the bishop, that'll be a check. And then I think they'll take there and I'll take here and that'll also be a check. Let's try it. They took with the knight. I think it's going to work out the same way, isn't it? But then I'm giving up the dark squared bishop. And I just gave up a pawn first. Well, let's get this rook in place here first to threaten that rook. Oh, it moved. Okay. And then take the knight? Oh, and then it won't be a check then. If I take the knight and they take back and I take back, I would have picked up another pawn, the pawn that I just lost, but it won't be a check because their rook's in the way. I'd hate to give up my better bishop for a knight, but then that means I just made a mistake by pushing that pawn forward. I probably need to get this rook maybe over here. Let's see. That's defended, that's defended, that's defended. Yeah, let's put the rook over here and then something like this. But yeah, I think I just gave up that d pawn for nothing. Okay, that rook has moved unexpectedly. Should I get this rook out? They already have a rook pointed here, so maybe I should leave the f rook here defending that. I think they're trying to push this, maybe, is why they have moved that rook over. If they do, I suppose I'll take it, and then when they take back, I'll have to move this bishop someplace. But I don't have very many places to move it. That's frustrating. And I have a queen lined up with that rook at the back of this. I have no idea. Maybe I should have taken the knight to begin with, but it does definitely feel like I'm getting constricted here. Probably pushing the d-pawn was a mistake, but we will check that at the end of the game. I am going to go ahead and take this knight. They did take back. I'm going to take, and that puts an extra defender here. They moved their king out of that pin so that this rook can move. Okay, that's interesting. But now this pawn doesn't need to move because of then I would take the knight. The knight is undefended. Also, the knight's the only thing defending that rook. So I'm wondering, should I pull this bishop back? It will be defended there by the pawn. Then I could sacrifice my rook for again, when I make these plans, you're assuming the opponent doesn't have any turns. If I pull this bishop back, it exposes my rook's attack on the knight. And then if they take with the pawn, then I would win their rook for free, but I just realized their queen is also defending that. Okay, so that probably won't help. Also, it definitely will not help to push this pawn right now because they could just take it because that pawn's pinned. Maybe I need to move my king over too. Is there a way I can remove their queen from defending this rook? Because right now they've removed their king from defending it. So can I remove the queen from defending it? Also, I realized my queen's the only thing defending this pawn right now. So maybe I should move this rook over here behind my e-pawn. Oh, but then that traps the f-rook in place. I have no idea. I don't know. I feel like I've already lost this game even though I'm technically 2 pawns ahead. Let's see, that's still defended. Now they have 2 attackers on this and I only have, well, I have 2 defenders on it. And I do notice that all their pieces are on light squares because I have a dark squared bishop. So my dark squared bishop isn't seeing anything. The only thing it could possibly see are those 2 pawns and their king. Maybe I know if I line it up with their king, they'll take. If I move this rook up, I could move the other rook over, double up behind that pawn. Let's try it. It might be a blunder, but that's my plan. Okay, they have threatened my queen, but they have left this pawn undefended. Oh, also I could just take there. But if I take there, then this pawn will be defended again. So I think, oh, I saw what happened. They're trying to remove the defender of the rook because this rook's undefended temporarily. And if I take, then they double up, but then I double up. I'm up 2 pawns. I don't know if I should trade or not and get into a heavy piece endgame with a 1300 rated bot. But yeah, definitely I shouldn't take the pawn because then my rook falls. Wait, no. If they take my rook at that point, then I would take their rook. So they can't take my rook if I take this pawn, right? I mean, they can, but they shouldn't because that rook's still undefended. Oh, I'm not sure about that. But you know what? I'm going to try it. Okay, they didn't take my rook, but now they can. But my plan was to defend the rook with the other rook, so let's do that. But then they're going to have a discovery on my queen, wherever they move that knight. Should I take the knight first? Then my bishop will be pinned. Let's see. If I take the knight first, then they take this rook, and I'm in trouble. So yeah, I'm going to double up on the rooks first. They still have the discovery, which they just did, and I need to move my queen to where? Back to where it was? I think I want to move it back to where it was. Where's that knight going, though? I don't know. I'm going to put the queen back where it was. Not sure that's good. Should I push this pawn now? But then they can put a rook behind it, right? No, because my bishop's guarding that square. I should push the pawn now. That's my advantage in this game so far, is that I'm up a pawn. I'm up 3 pawns, and I have a passed pawn, so I should push it. I should probably try to get it all the way to there if I can, because I will then have a bunch of pieces guarding e7. Also, that gives my rooks 1 more square to play with. That threatens their rook. I think it needs to move. It did. And now I can go 1 more forward. And then there, my bishop and both rooks will be protecting it. Well, not the bishop anymore then. What if I... Oh, the knight's after my rook. Okay, wow. It took me a little bit too long to see that the knight was after my rook. I can move the rook. Oh, and also the knight's guarding the promotion square, so that was a pretty good move. But I don't think I want to take the knight, because then they take here, probably with, I assume they would take with the rook. I don't think they would take with the pawn. If I take here, they would take with the rook because it threatens my queen, but then I could just move the queen over 1, right? Or over 1 the other way. I'm going to try that. They did take with the rook as I suspected, but which way? Or should I drop it back diagonally 1 where it would continue protecting this rook? I think if I want to continue protecting the rook, I should come over this way. But if I go over that way, I'm aiming for the pawn and indirectly protecting that pawn. Let's try that. They moved the pawn. Well, then I should probably drop this back in here just to be sure. Oh, it went back. Oh, I want to do this now because then I'll win that pawn, won't I? Let's do that. Force the queen to move. Okay, now they have all 3 of their pieces pointed at that pawn. That was probably a good idea, but I have 3 pieces pointed there too. And once they take, they'll only have 2 defenders of that square. So I don't think they're going to take just yet. Should I try to get another passed pawn over here on the right? I mean, that's the left, isn't it? Wow. I don't know which side is which. I think I'm going to push a pawn, my A pawn. Their queen has moved. Okay. Then now I can take this pawn because now they only have 2 pieces pointed at that. I could take that, but then they would take one of mine. What if I threatened their queen again first and then moved that up? Then they could take and take. Let's see. It depends on where their queen would move. And I know that just threatening the queen constantly isn't the best idea. But yeah, definitely if I take this pawn, they can take one of mine. But then I can move this up where it's protected by the queen, my queen. And then I've got another passed pawn. I think I'm going to try that. Oh, they did that. Okay. Should I put this rook back here? Wait. If I take both rooks for my queen right now, is that good for me? See, if I move this back over, they get a rook. And if I take back, they get my queen and a rook for it. So I think I should just take that rook. Oh, it might be wrong, but I did it. Oh, was that a blunder or is that what they had to do? I was actually hoping they would take and then I would drop back and then both my rooks would be pointed at that square. So maybe that was their best move. Maybe I am completely winning now. Let me line these 2 rooks up again, so that way when I have to move my queen, I can. What's that going for? I was going to drop my queen right here to threaten their queen and help shepherd the pawns down. Let's see if they'll take, if Vin wants to take. No, Vin went there. Okay. There's probably some sort of trick here with the rooks and the queen, but my queen's not quite lined up with that square. So maybe I should just start pushing these pawns then. Okay, I can defend that pawn by dropping back 1, but then my queen's not defended and it's lined up with their queen, but then I can check with my rook. Is that good? Oh, I hope that's good. It seems bad, but maybe it's good. Okay, maybe Vin saw that I could have checked with the rook and then they would have had to take and lost their queen. Okay, then I think, wait, I also could have defended that pawn by moving this pawn, but I'm going to do this. And these pawns are all going to go down together, I think. Oh, did I mess up? Oh, wow. I didn't notice that they had lined up both their pieces on the F pawn. Does Vin have a perpetual now? I messed up, didn't I? Because I can't take it. That's my only legal move. And then when he goes up, that's my only legal move. No, Vin, I don't want to rematch right now. I have a feeling that I was ahead until I didn't notice that Vin had lined up both those pieces on the F pawn. That's my feeling. I don't know how or when exactly I went ahead, which move of Vin's was the blunder that put me ahead, but I have a feeling that I was ahead until he lined up there and I didn't notice it. I had a chance to defend it, but I didn't. Probably could have defended it with my queen by dropping my queen back. Let's do the game review. First, save game, so I don't lose it, because I've done that with a few bot videos before, and game review. Wait, during the game, it was showing my daily rating down there by my name, right? It was showing 13 something, my daily rating, but now it's showing 1242, which is my rapid rating. What's the point of switching those? Sorry, that I get distracted by the simplest things. Well, yes, the graph shows that I was ahead the whole game until, oh, I wasn't ahead for the last, okay. So I was wrong about where I let it drop to drawing, apparently. Wait, maybe not, because he had 3 moves there. Yeah, maybe that's where I didn't notice that Vin lined up on my F pawn. I went from plus 11 to even right there. Okay, well, I had no mistakes, but 3 misses and a blunder. Vin had 4 great moves. I had no great moves. All right. Okay, I was right. My suspicion was correct that B5 was just a giveaway, and that F5, something was messed up about that. Wait, it says I have 3 misses, right? This chart right here says I have 3 misses and a blunder, but look at this move list. There's 2 misses, 15 and 16, and there's my blunder on move 42, which is when I didn't notice they lined up with the F pawn. Where's my 3rd miss? So we know that they can show misses in this list. They just don't always do it, and sometimes they show some of them but not others. One of mine was probably right here, E5, because of this graph. You can't point at it without the numbers blocking the graph. That's frustrating. I missed on move 5 because there's a little dip in the graph after Vin's 2nd mistake. So when Vin played F5, I should not have played E5. I should have played something else. I just don't know what it was. Let's go start review. That's the last book move. Okay, because Vin made a mistake here. Well, that's interesting. Usually when you run the game review, it doesn't stop on your opponent's moves. And it wants me to retry that, but I wasn't playing with the black pieces. I don't know what Vin should have done. Probably played D5 like everybody else does in the French, but I'm not going to replay that. Was I right to take it? No, it was... Okay. Yeah, the game review doesn't work for me. Let's switch over to the analysis tab. Yeah, okay, there's the arrow. Vin should have played D5, and I should have taken that with my bishop. Okay. So it was inaccurate for me to take with my knight, but now we're back to the normal advantage that white has after 2 moves, or 3 moves. That was one of Vin's better moves. What should I have played here? Should I have put my knight back? It was okay for me to put my knight back, but D3 was slightly better. I wasn't sure about trapping in this bishop, but maybe that's what you have to do. I'll say this, though, in the French, very often that light-squared bishop gets trapped back here, and Vin found a very interesting way to get the light-squared bishop out. So it wasn't trapped as it normally is in the French. But bringing the knight back was okay, and f5 was a second mistake. So Vinh made 2 mistakes in the first 4 moves. And the first one I responded to with an inaccuracy, and yes, there's the miss symbol right there. The second one I responded to with the miss. I should have taken it. But I thought maybe that was the point of it, to try to get me to take it, to get one, right? Vinh still has 2 center pawns. If I take that, it is not as big an advantage as the graph made it out to be. It's still less than +1. But if I take that, Vinh has 2 center pawns. Oh, it's his best move to take back, so then neither one of us would have an e-pawn. But what if he didn't take back? What if he pushed it? Oh, that would have been huge, because then I could check. But then, oh, if they block with the g-pawn, I could just take it. So he basically would have had to have taken, and then neither one of us would have had an e-pawn. And then d4 or queen to e2 check would have been best for me. I thought that was an attempt to get rid of my e-pawn, but now that I look at it, now I understand that it loses their e-pawn too. Okay. But I pushed forward, which was a miss. I still have a very slight advantage. But then Vinh should have played c5, or knight to e7, or knight to c6, but instead Vinh put the queen out there, which I got worried about. Okay, d4 was my best move by just a very small margin. Okay, and that was the best move. Knight to f3 was my best move, and I don't know if it was for the reason that I said I was trying to block both their pieces from seeing my g-pawn. Oh, and here Vinh should have taken. That's the best move for the bot here. But Vinh did not play one of those top 3 moves, instead pushed the a-pawn. Oh, and I was supposed to get the bishop out this way. Okay, but I did that hoping to fianchetto, which was okay. This was inaccurate because it allows me to put the bishop here. I have a lot of learning to do with e4 openings, and apparently bishop to e2 is fine with a bunch of these, but I went that way, so should have gotten this one out now, the dark squared bishop, but instead pushed that one in there. Should I have just taken it first? I should have just taken it first. Okay, well, I didn't know. If I had taken it and they had taken, it says then I would have had to play queen to e2. I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't take, because if I took and they did this, I was going to move this knight, but I was worried about losing the castling rights when they took my queen. But it says I'm supposed to give this knight up now, and they're not going to take it. If I play queen to e2, they're not going to take this knight with the pawn. If I castle now, they're not going to take this knight with the pawn. In both of those cases, it says they would play knight to c6. It says, or I could just play h3 now, and they would play d5. What is going on? This is how you can tell sometimes when people are playing bot moves, because right now, in a real game against a human, I don't mean a grandmaster, but a human at my level, if I played queen to e2, which it says is my best move, every human I've ever known would take here, because you get a piece for a pawn, and that's not listed. That would have been a huge advantage for me if I took back with the bishop. Oh, it would have been a blunder to take back with the queen. Okay, and then their queen just drops. Wait, it says their best move is to put the queen in here? Hold on, it's still thinking about it. Okay, it's changed its mind. At first it said the best move was queen to h3. That seemed ridiculous, but yeah, the best move is to drop it back, and they're ahead a piece, and I have 2 pawns for it. But I have +3 advantage. Oh, because I get the rook. Oh, because I get the rook. Okay. Well, maybe every human I've played wouldn't have done that. Maybe there are humans at my level that would have seen that if they took the knight, I would eventually chase their queen off, and then I would get the rook. Wow. So I had to take first and not worry about that pawn because of where the rook is. But castling was very close in evaluation, so why was it counted as an inaccuracy? I'm still up +2 point something, and here they needed to drop that bishop all the way back or get their other knight out, but instead they brought the other bishop out, which now am I supposed to take the knight? Yes. Okay, I mean the bishop, and they're supposed to take back. I did mention that move. Or queen to e2, but queen to e2, yeah, see, I'm not going to play that because I wasn't seeing the rook down there. Okay, I need to keep in mind when I fianchetto to watch the long diagonal the whole time. c3 was not listed there, but it also wasn't counted as inaccurate. It says it's excellent. They did take the knight. Okay, see, that was a human style blunder. Okay, or inaccuracy, whatever it is. That was definitely a human style mistake there, because, so I'll give the designers of the bot credit, because I didn't see the rook, did I? They got the queen out of danger. Oh, it wasn't my best move to take the rook. Well, I didn't know that. I just didn't take the rook, I think, because I didn't see it, probably. At least I don't remember seeing it. I don't remember mentioning it, but yeah, I don't think I saw the rook. I just saw that I had previously threatened their dark squared bishop with my pawn, so I took it. We were even on material, except I'm up 2 pawns now. For a second, I had thought I was up a piece, but instead I just have the bishop pair and they have the knight pair. That was their best move, preventing me from taking the rook. And I should have... Oh, no. I didn't see that either. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I deserved to lose this game, not draw it. Okay, yeah, and I've got to start noticing when the king and queen are on the same file or same rank, same diagonal, and see if there's a way that I can pin it. And here I had that way, but I didn't see it. I saw this pawn hanging, which is pointless, nothingness compared to that pin over there. They would have just taken my bishop, would have been their best move. Yeah, that was a miss. Okay, I definitely get that miss. And then they left their queen there, played this, so I had the bishop to h5 again, and I missed it again. Wow. Okay, well, I took the other pawn, which is fine. They took that, and I was right to take it. Okay, good. I'm up plus 13. If I'll play queen to e4 or rook to d6, up plus 15. If I play either one of those, here, this number's higher than the game review. But instead I did that, which is okay, but it's only plus 10 now. Not among their best moves. I need to play queen to c5. I did play queen to c5. Okay, yeah, see, real quick here is where I failed to see this. b5 was among my best moves. Okay, so I was doing really well here. That was okay. I should have just played b6, but instead I dropped back to defend the a-pawn, and that's their best move, and I had to defend here to prevent the perpetual stalemate. I mean, the draw by repetition. I had to go to c5 to defend that pawn, or f4 to defend that pawn, or d4. One of those 3 places, all of which point at the f-pawn. But yeah, I did not see that. I thought that they were just running out of moves and they came back over here and I gave it up. And Vin only has 1 move. I only have a legal move. Vin only has 1 move that maintains drawing. I only have 1 legal move. Only 1 move that maintains drawing. And I only have 1 legal move. And of course, that's a repetition. Forced. So if you made it this far, thank you for spending your time here. I still have work cut out for me. Maybe I'll try Vin again in the future. Maybe not. We'll see you next time.